Under Governor Abbott's emergency declaration, the Texas National Guard has seized control of this park and some surrounding land along the river, put up fencing and razor wire, and kicked out federal Border Patrol agents, arguing that it's the Biden administration that has perpetuated illegal crossings, so Texas is going to control this land from here on out. Our crews have seen what appears to be Texas National Guard blocking Border Patrol agents from key areas of the operation here, and senior Border Patrol agents confirmed to Fox News that BP has pulled resources to avoid a confrontation.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens?
Already have armed National Guard, armed soldiers deployed to block federal agents. The Supreme Court has now ruled in favor of these federal agents. They can go in and remove razor wire, basically allowing wave after wave of criminal alien entering this country. The Texas National Guard is already defying the feds. The feds have asserted jurisdiction here. Texas National Guard said, screw off. What's going to change? Why would the Supreme Court saying you can remove the razor wire change anything about Texas state law and how they handle law enforcement? Texas has said it is illegal to cross our borders in this way, and we will enforce the law. The feds are saying we can remove this and allow them to break the law. I don't see Texas backing down from this. Texas is going to say, that's great, Supreme Court, really, really great. Good luck removing the razor wire when our guys are standing there holding guns, blocking you from access to the river. What are the feds going to do? Show up with guns and point the guns at the National Guard and say, get out of the way? Is Texas, I mean, fair question. Is Texas going to instruct their armed soldiers, you must now evacuate and let the feds come in?
Because the order is, it's a temporary order pending the ongoing litigation, is there a chance that, like, effectively Texas could be held in contempt of court? Like, what are the punishments for not going along with this temporary order pending ongoing litigation?
What does that even mean when the feds have already asserted jurisdiction on the river and Texas said, F off? You can file all the paperwork in the world for injunction. The feds have already asserted it's our jurisdiction. And Texas said, don't care, get out, with guns.
There it is, Civil War. Seems coincidental, don't it? But anyway, I want to say shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'm going to give double honors to the apostles and others, great millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. New is in the gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the spirit, as everybody knows about that border crisis with those migrants crossing over here to America. And basically Texas like, nah, screw that. You're not coming over here. If we can say so, because that's violating, our amendments, our Constitution, and our rights by you allowing migrants to come to this country, which in fact is going to end in some type of civil war, if not a full-blown civil war, because for the simple fact, migrants coming to this country is none unless biblical prophecy. Salakia is biblical prophecy. Okay, scriptures goes into how the Most High should fill your land with caterpillars, as the Most High should fill your land with men as caterpillars. I mean, those foreign nations coming over here to invade America. That's biblical prophecy. But it makes sense that Texas takes a patriotic stand against this border crisis, because, I mean, what else is gonna spark this civil war, outside of this whole border thing? Because these migrants that's coming over here are nothing more than sleeper cells, soldiers of fighting age, agent provocateurs, criminals, and then very few or minuscule amount of those people are actually people that's looking to come over here to sustain some type of living. But overall, these are basically government agents or mercenaries for hire that's pretty much set up to do damage, okay, which is all part of the scriptures. And it's a perfect scenario, because now Edom is clashing with Edom, because you got the state saying, look, we going to protect our borders. Anybody comes in here, we going to turn them around and detain them, or we going to shoot them down. And then you're going to have the federal government which can assume the jurisdiction over the state government and say, you know what, we're going to supersede all this shit, stand down, or we going to retaliate against you militarily. Okay, and what the state don't understand, even though you got a lot of boots on the ground type patriots in Texas and Missouri, Kansas, Colorado, these red states, they're going to stand with their constitution. But overall, the federal government, they got planes, okay? They got Tomahawk missiles. They got fucking airstrikes. And matter of fact, we gonna play this trailer, Civil War, going back to that, because remember, they was like, are you, to some degree, are you justified on implementing a strike on the U.S. citizens, man? So, hey, what are the chances that that movie Civil War 2024 is coming out, and all of a sudden you got this whole crisis coming about? So, yeah, man, things are getting ready to turn up. And like this lady said, she said they don't see Texas really standing down from this whole ordeal. And it's been several times and in talks for a long time that Texas was trying to succeed from the United States government anyway, or the government, so to speak, because really each state really represents their own sovereign country to some degree. Okay, because if you look at the Constitution, each state has its own particular constitution. They have their own set of Bill of Rights. They have their own laws. Okay, even though majority of them are resembling of the other states, like the Bill of Rights or the particular Bill of Rights for the state of Illinois and the state of Missouri, they may slightly different in some form or fashion, but they all speak the same language. Okay, so I'm gonna play this trailer to the movie Civil War. I'm gonna get a couple of precepts, and then that'll be that. And this is gonna be a badass movie, brothers. I can't wait till this come out. And it's supposed to be being released on IMAX and Dolby. So, I mean, they must have put a good amount of money into this production for them to release it on advanced theaters like that. All right. So, matter of fact, let's look at wow, a $50 million budget. It says March 15, 2022, production began. Production had moved to London, but the production budget for Civil War was $50 million, making A24's most expensive film. And hey, A24, even though they like a smaller studio, they've been putting out like the best B-grade movies, man. They've been putting out some good movies. There was a movie called Talk to Me, which was a horror movie. That was surprisingly good. It's actually pretty creepy. And they came out with Uncut Gems. That was a good one. They made a plethora of other movies too, man. But A24, they've been getting down. They buying the rights to a lot of these old franchises, and because they got the budgeting now. But they put $50 million into a movie like this, and that makes me think that it's going to be pretty good. Okay, and it's directed by Alex Garland. So yeah, this is, it's looking to be pretty good. Lord's will. All right, 109 minutes, which, I mean, that's what, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Yeah, about an hour and 50 minutes. I mean, it's not a long movie. I prefer it to be 2.5 hours, but regardless of it, it is what it is. It's gonna be a pretty good movie. So let's play the trailer, and now we're gonna get some precepts, and that'll be that. Civil War trailer. Let's do, I don't want to do the A24 trailer because I'm pretty sure they can try to flag it. So let's do it here. Give me a break.
States have seceded.
The United States Army ramps up activity.
The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
The three-term president assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
Are you guys aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America?
We just try to stay out. With what we see on the news, seems like it's for the best.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California have suffered a very great defeat at the hands
So
of the
basically,
United
Texas
States
and
military.
Cali. Basically, Texas and Cali came together. A state that have two different political views on things coming together against a tyrannical government. against austerity. A lot of this is deal with the migrant crisis, man, taxes going up, inflation, the war in Ukraine, the war in the Middle East. People on edge, man. You know, the economy is collapsing, all types of shit. And then on top of that, believe it or not, even though California, Illinois, New York, these are all Democrat or blue states, you still got patriots, and you still got patriots that live in these particular states that will brandish their amendments to do and their rights to do what they have to do. And people are going to literally take to the streets, and they're going to start going against these their government officials. And we're going to read that in second address. And this is why Esau has got to bring a foreign military here to bring some type of order, because you got to understand the foreign military that's coming over here, they don't really have any regard or any care for the American people. Okay, in which technically they shouldn't. I mean, who would? Because this country, this is a wicked ass kingdom any goddamn way. But overall, man, these people, they're like, look, man, you done came over and you done fucked us up, man. Desert Storm, you know, the Gulf War, you know, what do you call that? The Panama Deception, World War II, World War I, the fucking, what do you call it? The Cold War, you know, Operation Desert Storm, the Afghani War. It's been a lot of damage that Esau has done to these societies. So, hey, they feel like, look, we want some get back. And you're going to get back, all right?
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens?
See, and that's the point. He said, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens? So, hey, with this whole border crisis, if Texas don't stand down, or however that works, then, hey, I won't be surprised if they do some type of preemptive attack on them, man. Now, they may try to so-called do it subtle to the point under their nose so they can't detect it, but overall, Texas know how the United States get down. And Biden is such a fucking coward. If anything, he's going to deal with them resources. You know, he's going to take away a lot of resources. You know, he's going to take away a lot of their goods. You know, he may try to do away with a lot of the gun rights. Then he may try to stop the oil. And then, you know, he may be cutting the power. He's going to fuck with them psychologically, man, covertly, before he risks an all-out war with them. Because this man is a fucking coward, man. You know what I'm saying? You see, it took the pull of two for them to end up attacking the Houthis over there in the Red Sea. And the Houthis, they ain't backing down like, fuck y'all, man. We ain't worried about it. Because the Lord is putting a spirit in these nations to rise up against you.
We're moving to D.C. today.
We need to go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol. Every instinct in me says this is death.
Flooded.
Every time I survived the war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do this. But here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. What? Well, you're American, okay? Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
The Western forces will reach the White House on July 4th.
Oh my God.
Get in the car! Get in the car! Move, move, move!
You're gonna hang back.
I'm not hanging back.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go, 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 go!
God bless America.
Yep, it says IMAX, so they put a lot of money in it. So they're expecting they're expecting to make a lot of money off this movie. They're gonna make about 200 mil easily, because I'm gonna tell you like this: a lot of patriots are going to see that shit. Okay, and just due to the heightened tensions around the world, that movie's gonna take off, man. They're gonna easily make that 50 million back easy. They're gonna make that shit back in one weekend, for real. But that movie's gonna do a couple of 100 mil, you know, surprisingly. Even though it seems to be pretty short, but it's gonna be packed of information. It's gonna be a lot of jewels in that, and I recommend every brother to go see it. I know we're going to Lord's will. You know, we're still here. We're definitely going to see that movie, man. All right, but anyway, this is the book of go to here to Matthew's 12, and I'm gonna start at verses 25, because clearly there's a division that says, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Now, Texas versus the federal government. Okay, and according to this movie, it was Cali and Texas that kind of merged together to go against the tyranny of the government. Hey, that's Satan being divided against Satan. Okay, because what was the Civil War about? The North versus the South. Okay, who was sovereign and over slaves and who wanted to become corporate. Okay, and what it led to a bloodbath, and to the point that the Confederate states end up locking horns with the northern states, and then before you know it, some agreement came into attack, and now you have what they call the United States of America, but they're still pretty divided. Just the fact that they have a Democrat and a Republican Party shows that people with different opinions and belief systems, shows you that this is a nation that has always been divided. It says here, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How should his kingdom stand? So it's not standing. Esau is getting ready to fall. Okay, I mean, just the average everyday dumb, lame-brained American, the dumbfounded American, dead odds, man. They pulling pistols on each other. To the point you got sheriffs out there in Cali, like telling you straightforward, look, hey, protect yourself, arm yourselves, hey, do what you got to do. And that's going to be the law now in a minute. That's going to be, you know what I'm saying, that the protection is going to be law. Even sheriffs, they're going to be like, look, you got a firearm, defend yourself. Because it's going to come to a point that they're not going to be investigating crimes like that. Okay, because it's going to be, crime is going to be like a common thing, murder, you know, robberies and stuff like that. Like in Cali, it's too common. They're not going to investigate all that shit. So it's going to come to a point, the police going to say, well, look, you got to be your own vigilantes and you got to be your own protectors because we can't get to you. So, hey, it's going to come a time, they don't give a fuck if you got a felony and with a firearm. At this point, they like, look, defend yourself. Okay, and that's some wicked ass shit. They tell felons they can't get guns because they're violent, but at the same time, you got migrants coming over here getting weapons. That's hypocrisy, because a lot of them are part of those particular groups and prisons and cartels, etc. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, he restricts people from protecting themselves. How the hell you gonna tell a man because he got locked up he can't defend himself? That's stupid. And you think they gonna listen to that shit? Hell nah. You know? Shit, it's easy to get a firearm here. It's like going to the store buying a bag of chips. It's that common. You can buy a fucking firearm off the street for the low. You know, and here in Missouri, shit, they got some of the lenient fucking gun laws in the damn country. Like, literally, you can literally walk in a fucking grocery store with a gun on your hip, man. You can open carry. I mean, they prefer you to conceal out here. But even then, I've seen niggas walking the street with it on their hip. I'm like, oh, shit, that's bold. And Esau ain't even fuck with them. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So you already know how it's going to go down here. But it's going to go there real soon. So, hey, brothers, man, we got to stay prayed up and stay in the spirit and not fall into this shit, man. You know, I say don't engage unless it comes to you. I put it to you that way because, hey, the Lord made, hey, certain brothers, we going to be in the midst of all this shit. And, hey, you might have to do what you got to do. But overall, we ain't going to be in the midst of no goddamn civil war. That ain't our battle. You know what I'm saying? That's for these peons here. Let them fight that shit. You know, because it's going to be a highly dangerous time, highly volatile time. Okay, but it says here, and I will set thee, this is the book of Isaiah 19:2, it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, okay? And this is what it's talking about, a civil war. It says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom, okay? Meaning city against city, nation against nation, state against state, okay? And like they showed in the preview, that's city against city, all right? In the New Living Testament, I will make the Egyptian fight against Egyptian, brother against brother, neighbor against neighbor, city against city, province against province. Ooh, okay, province against province. A province represents your states, your cities. It says, Egyptians will lose heart, and I will confuse their plans, and they will plead with their idols for wisdom, and call on spirits, mediums, and those who consult with the spirits of the dead. All right, and this is why you witchcraft, they're going to go to their gods, JC. You know, they're going to be praying all these different entities and getting no answer from it. And I will hand Egypt over to a hard, cruel master, and a fierce king shall rule over them, which is you seeing these wicked-ass elites. Okay, they're ruling over the world right now. You know, and they're trying to establish central banks against the other nations' wills or authorities. All right. Let's get another precept here, then we'll shut it down. We pretty much got the point. 2 Ezra 15:16 is good indicator of what we're going into, what we're speaking about. 2nd Ezra 15, and I'm going to start at verses 14. It says, Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. It says, For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up to fight against another with swords in their hands. Okay? This is a civil war. For there should be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they should not regard their kings nor their princes. In the course of that action, shall stand in their own power. Meaning they're going to say, fuck the government. Okay, like she just said in a video, she was like, look, basically Texas said, fuck you, we got guns, turn around. And hey, if they, the federal government, they want to get slick, they can send the CIA in there. Okay, they can send the FBI in there. They can send the fucking Secret Service in there. They can send the fucking Navy SEALs in there. They can send the military. Like Esau, he gonna send his Gestapos in there to get that, because I mean, yeah, Texas is just one state, but then again, you're gonna have other shit, Missouri, Kansas, all these, particularly because, hey, believe it or not, a lot of these states, they adopt the same mindset as these Texans, man. These Missourians, hey, they gonna get a lot of these patriots, a lot of these veterans, a lot of these what do you call these National Guards and shit. A lot of them gonna stand, and a lot of them gonna turn on the federal government. Okay, even a lot of agents in the federal government, a lot of them are patriot. A lot of them, I'm like, you know what? I agree with them, and it's gonna be a clear division. So yeah, it's gonna be a fucking bloodbath, man. And us, the men of the Lord, hey, we gonna sit back and watch the fireworks fly, because this ain't got nothing to do with us. We just warned you of it, okay? But it says here, and a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able, because you're gonna have bridges that's gonna be blown, you're gonna have state borders that's gonna be toppled up, because in a lot of states here in America, you gotta cross a bridge, across a river in order to get in the state. Like going through the back way through Missouri to get into the back way of Illinois, going through Springfield, you cross the, I believe it's the Mississippi River, and it's separated by a bridge. It says you're leaving the state of Missouri and welcome to the state of Illinois, vice versa. It's a bridge that connects both states. So once they blow that bridge, then how the hell you gonna get over there unless you're gonna swim across the river, or you're gonna find an alternate route? Same thing like with North KC, South KC. There's a bridge you have to go over in order to get to one part of the city. And it's going to be a division here. You're going to have North Kansas Cityans against Southern Kansas Cityans. People from Raytown against motherfuckers from Grandview. This is going to be crazy. It's going to be a civil war all the way down to the smallest minute level, from gang wars to fucking house wars to jurisdictional wars to cop precinct wars. This is all sides of shit that's going to be going down. And it says here, for because of their pride, the city should be troubled, and the houses should be destroyed, and men should be afraid. And the men should have no pity upon his neighbor, but should destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. And these are the things that's coming to this place, man. Like it tells you right here, 2nd Ezra 16, and I'm going to start at 22. It says, For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. Okay, because the famine is coming. Technically, we're in it. It just haven't really manifested yet. And it says, And the other that escape the hunger should the sword destroy. And the dead should be cast out as dung, and there should be no man to comfort them. It says, For the earth should be wasted, and the city should be casted down, and there no man should be left to till the earth and to sow it. Okay, because there's going to be a lot of dead out here. Reading here, it goes down, it says 27, it says, So that one man should desire to see another, and to hear his voice. For of a city there should be 10 left. And of the field, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rock. And as an orchard of olives upon every tree, there are 3 or 4 olives left. Or as a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so, in those days, there should be 3 or 4 left by them that search that house with the sword. Okay, because you're going to have men that's going to be on the prowl. They're going to go to house, looking for goods, looking for things to sustain themselves, to survive, to feed the families if they're still living. And that's how it goes down. And it shows you that in that game, The Last of Us. Basically, you had to go house to house, armed, evading fucking marauders and zombies and stuff like that in order to survive, man. Sometimes you had to run because you had a group of marauders after you. Sometimes you had to, there was a couple of missions you had to get up out of Dodge, man. And I may actually play the whole game over again because I got part 1 and 2. Very fun game, by the way. But it says, but even in those days, there should be 3 or 4 left by them that should search their houses with the sword. All right. So Anyway, I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Lord's will you were edified until the next lesson. Shalom.